Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about floodlighting. Now, first of all, we have to know what is floodlighting. When we flood large surfaces with light from powerful projectors, it is known as floodlighting. Next, the question comes, why do we employ floodlighting? In other words, what is the purpose of floodlighting? So, floodlighting may be done maybe to enhance the beauty of some ancient monuments during the night time. Secondly, we can go for illumination of advertisement boards and showcases. So, we can write over here illumination of boards. This one we can write it as illumination of some monuments. We may also like to illuminate different areas such as railway yards. I'm writing in short. Illumination of some stadium. Illumination of car parking areas. Construction sites, etc. So these are some of the different purposes for which we may go for use of floodlighting. Generally, if we are going for illuminating small buildings, we go for the use of uniform floodlighting. Uniform floodlighting means all the areas in the building will be uniformly illuminated by the light. Floodlights can be placed on other buildings nearby or on suitable posts at distance of about 60 meters in between in such cases. Light should always fall almost perpendicular to the building in case of employing floodlights for small buildings. But when we go for illumination of large or tall buildings using floodlighting schemes, generally they are illuminated non-uniformly. In such cases, the floodlights should be placed in such a way that all the different features and contours of the building are easily visible and well defined. If any shadows are cast, they should enhance the beauty of the building, okay, in case of floodlighting large or tall buildings. Also, we should make sure that the projectors are not visible to the passerby. In some cases, it is possible that we may go for housing the projectors in some ornamental cases or ornamental stands. According to the beam spread, the projectors can be classified as follows. So, classification of projectors is our next topic of discussion. We can have narrow beam projectors. We can have medium angle projectors. And the third one is we can have wide angle projectors. So these are the three types of projectors that we can have based on the beam spread. In case of narrow beam projectors, the beam spread is between 12 to 25 degrees. These are used for distances beyond 70 meters. In case of medium angle projector, the angle lies between 25 to 40 degree. These are employed for distance between 30 to 70 meter. And for wide angle projectors, the beam spread lies between 40 to 90 degrees. These are used for distances below 30 meter. From the viewpoint of economy, use of wide-angle projector with high wattage lamp is encouraged over narrow beam projector with low wattage lamp. Also, in medium and wide-angle projector, standard gas-filled tungsten filament lamp of 250 or 500 or 1000 watts are used. Now, few terms are there that are related to floodlighting calculations. First one is waste light factor. Okay. Now, what does this mean? Whenever a surface is illuminated with the help of different projectors, a certain percentage of the light is always wasted. So this effect is taken into account by multiplying the theoretical value of light by waste factor. Okay. For a rectangular area, this waste factor is taken around 1.2, and for irregular objects like statues, it is taken around 1.5. So this waste factor is multiplied with the theoretical value of light, which is given in terms of lumens. The next one is depreciation factor. Now, this is defined as the ratio of illumination under ideal condition to the illumination under normal condition. The actual amount of light that is provided by the source is greater by 50 to 100% due to dirt and dust depending on the reflector surface, etc. Okay, it is for this reason that we go for the use of this depreciation factor. The next one is coefficient of utilization. This is also known as beam factor, and it is defined as the ratio of beam lumens to the lamp lumens. Its value lies between 0.3 to 0.5. For any desired intensity over a definite surface, the number of projectors required is obtained by using the following equation. If I consider capital N as the number of projectors, then it is equal to area of the surface which is to be illuminated, unit is meter square, multiplied with the required level of illumination, which is in terms of lumen per meter square, multiplied with waste factor, multiplied with depreciation factor, divided by utilization factor, multiplied with lamp wattage, multiplied with luminous efficiency of lamp. Okay, this is the formula. Now, based on this, we will now solve a problem. Let us consider this problem where it is given that the front of a building with area 45 meter into 20 meter. So given data, I can write area is 45 meter into 20 meter. This comes around 2 into 45 is 90. So this is 900 meters square. So the front of a building with this area is illuminated by 20 numbers of, so capital N is equal to 20 numbers of 1000 watt lamp. So lamp wattage is equal to 1000 watts that are arranged so that uniform illumination on the surface is obtained. Assuming a luminous efficiency of 18 lumens per watt, coefficient of utilization, that is your utilization factor, equal to 0.4, waste light factor, that is equal to 1.2, and depreciation factor equal to 1.3, determine the illumination on the surface. So we have to find out the value of capital E. Okay. So when we use the formula capital N equal to A into E into waste factor into depreciation factor divided by utilization factor into your lamp efficiency, luminous efficiency into lamp wattage. So when we substitute all these variables with the required data, we will get the value of E. The answer which is given over here is 102.56 lumen per meter square. This is the answer given. Okay. So that's all for today. Thank you.